we're sticking with the summer vibe still. We're just on that summer trend. I've got my salmon shirt on, I'm ready to go. Now, I live in a flat, we don't have a barbecue, but I still want delicious ribs. So I'm gonna show you how to make them at home. So we've got these lovely pork ribs from, you guessed it, my lovely butcher, Roland. The first step is just drizzle over some mustard. Now this is gonna act as a binder, so all the seasoning can stick to the ribs. If you don't like mustard and you may be allergic, you could use just oil. Try not to get that sound. Jesus, man. Right, okay. And now we're gonna make our spice rub. Salt, pepper, a little touch of smoked paprika. We'll mix that together and season all over the ribs. From a height, we get a nice even layer. And that goes into the oven at full whack for about 30 minutes to get some color, and I'm gonna show you how to make a barbecue sauce. For the barbecue sauce, it's really simple. It's just some ketchup, a little bit of mustard, white wine vinegar, brown sugar, Worcestershire sauce, sriracha. If you can't handle spice, just leave it out. Treacle. If you can't find treacle, you could use kind of golden syrup or some honey. Swirl it around like that. Just pop that on the heat until it's nice and thick. Tastes good already. While this comes up to the boil, we're gonna make the most amazing oven chips. It's really important to use Maris Piper potatoes because there is lots of starch in there, and that starch is gonna turn into sugar, and that sugar is gonna caramelize, leading to really nice crispy chips, but really nice fluffy insides. So, chop them up into wedges. What do you reckon the odds are of me getting a stain on this shirt? I'm looking at that barbecue sauce bubbling away and I'm like, shit.
Work ribs, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly, so you never know. Okay. The rule of thumb when boiling vegetables, if it grows below the ground, it has to go into cold water, and if it grows above the ground, it goes into boiling water. And simmer them for about 10 minutes. Let's keep an eye onto this barbecue sauce. Starting to get there. Let's give it a little taste. Ooh! Oh yeah, that's good. Just reduce it a little bit more, until it's nice and thick. I've realised in these videos that I'm very expressive with my hands. Am I like that like day to day? Do I just... Mamma mia. Oh, God, it's hot now. Once you can kind of draw a line and it holds it like that, that's when you know it's ready. Now the potatoes are up to a boil, reduce it down to a simmer for about 10-12 minutes. You'll know that they're ready when you can scoop them up and you can poke a cutlery knife in there pretty easily. I'm gonna let these chill out now and kind of steam dry, because that's gonna lead to the crispiest oven chip you can possibly get. So these have taken on a really nice color now. Lay out 2 bits of tin foil. I'm gonna use a spatula to get in all the little nooks and crannies. That's gonna kind of keep the ribs nice and moist. It's also gonna add some flavor. And hopefully by the time we take it out of the oven, that barbecue sauce is really nice and sticky. If in doubt, just add butter. That's my go-to saying. Now put it back into the oven, turn the temperature down to about 140, and slow cook it for about 2.5–3 hours. Goodbye, my lover.
Goodbye, my friend.
You have been the one.
You have been the
3 hours.
me.
The second tip for crispy oven chips is if you just give them a wee shake in the pan, and don't be afraid if they break up. That is now given our oil an opportunity to get into all those crevices, and it's going to make your chips even crispier. You should do like a crispy count, because I feel like I've said crispy quite a few times. Really nice crispy chips, the crispiest oven chip, your chips even crispier. Onto the hob with a little bit of veg oil. You want to be using veg oil, guys, because it's a higher smoke point and you're able to get a better result in the end. And you just want to get these nicely coated in the oil. Touch more oil on the top. So these are going to go into an oven at about 180 degrees for about 45 minutes to an hour. Another top tip is that if you use a bigger tray than you need, you're actually going to get a better result, because if they're all crammed into one small tray, the air's not going to kind of get in between each one, and you're going to be left with soggy chips, and no one wants a soggy chip, right? So here we go. Oh! That was hot. barbecue ribs are slow roasting, the chips are getting nice and crispy. So now we just need to whip up a few other barbecue accompaniments. So classic coleslaw. Grate your carrot, just for sound. Should do a game like see how far you can get. Sorry, did I get you there? I think it's just stopped before you. Shit. No.
Oh, was that it?
I don't know. I think it's like only a little bit. Damn you, mayo. I thought it was going to be the barbecue sauce and it turned out to be the mayo. These are looking really good. But another Sam's top tip. Throughout the cooking process, recoat them in the oil. This is going to make sure that they cook really nice and evenly. If you didn't do this, you're going to have one side really crispy and the other side not so. I reckon these have got like 5-10 minutes left. Over to our corn. These are beautiful on their own, but if you want to take your corn to the next level, char these off in an open flame. So what we're going to use is just a blowtorch, but if you have a normal gas hob at home, you could just stick it on the flames. I think the ribs are done. The moment of truth. These look super sticky and glorious. If I just try to pick that up and plonk it on the board, it's likely going to rip apart because that's how tender the meat is. So we need to be really careful in how we do this. Here we go. Put your tongs underneath it, just to give it a bit of support. All that leftover barbecue sauce is now just going to get doused onto the ribs like this.
You've got to be happy with that.
I am delighted. Right, here are the lovely oven chips. Listen to how crispy they are. Oh, look at this feast. It just falls right off the bone like that. You don't even need a knife. Okay, here we go. The winner. It's good. If you do live in a flat, you can still cook these amazing outdoor meals, but just use your oven. God, so good.